Hi there, I'm Joel. It's chilly lunchtime. We're in Guildford, down by the River Wey, which is actually quite a nice place to run. I used to do a lot of running down here, not for a long time. I don't know what day it is on my running streak. It's quite a long, 8 years and exactly 1 month. I don't know how many days that is. I'm off for my daily run. Should be about 3 miles, and you're coming with me. All right, let's go. Today I'm running with Andy Nuttall. Hi Andy.
Hello.
Thanks for coming with me.
It's a pleasure. It's my lunch hour, so I'm...
what would you otherwise be doing? Sitting at a desk, eating sandwiches, thinking, I should be training more.
Surfing the internet.
Now,
looking at Football 365 and finding out how rubbish Liverpool were last night. That kind of thing.
Oh yeah, well, I'm glad to distract you from all that.
Yes.
So Andy is the founder and editor of Ultra magazine.
That's it.
A magazine for ultra runners. And if you haven't seen it, Google it, because it's an extremely beautiful, well created and well put together magazine. Very, very impressive. So tell us about, well, I'm intrigued obviously by your running and how you got into the sport, but I'm also intrigued about how you managed to take that from running a long way to actually producing a magazine about it.
There's a lot to go through in 3 miles, but I guess it's the same as a lot of people's story. I was about 42 years old, and I saw a picture of myself. I wasn't really a runner. I'd done some 10Ks and things in the past. I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't identify with running.
I don't, still.
Or as a runner. Yeah. No, neither do I really. So at 42, I saw a picture of me pushing my daughter along in a pram.
Really?
And my gut was hanging over the sort of pram handle.
Right.
And I thought, I can't be fat, bald and old. I've got to do something about one of them. And at the same time, a friend of mine, Alec, who'd done some Ironmans and things, he said, just come with me to Newlands Corner and we'll go early one morning and run around. And it might change the way you look at things, running-wise.
Right.
And it really did.
So what did he do that morning that you hadn't done before?
So he said, let's not go any faster than 10-minute miles.
Yeah.
Let's sort of gently run up hills, but not try and beast them.
Yeah.
And just, because there's nobody else around, and because it's really beautiful, you might end up changing your opinion about running. And it really did.
So how far did you run that day?
About not much more than 5k,
right,
6k or something like that.
Kept your heart rate nice and low.
It was quite hilly. It's the North Downs Way.
Yes, I'm very familiar with that area.
Yeah, not far from here. So really from then on, I kicked on a bit and saw the G3 trail races around here. Sort of advertised. I thought, that looks like a good idea.
And those local Guildford races?
Yeah, to go from Newlands Corner, 10k.
Right. Races,
yeah.
Right.
But very inclusive ones.
Yep.
Run by a guy who's a mate of mine now. He organises the Fox Ultra, and I sort of help him out with that.
So you'd been an intermittent runner, and then you did this transformative run at Newlands Corner.
Yeah.
So what took you from that into longer distances?
Well, I just realised I really loved trail running.
So after that, how often did you try and get out? Because do you live out that way?
No. I live about 12, 13 miles away.
Right.
So it's a drive to get to North Downs.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but I also found a bunch of other people who were of a similar ilk that all fancied going out to shared driving. And
so how did you connect with them? Just people you knew?
People on the G3 races.
Oh, right.
I guess like a little community there of people were quite welcoming. And I don't know, I found they were quite nice people. And really, as I've got into slightly more long distance stuff, I've realised what a fantastic community of people it is.
Yes, yeah, I've really found that.
You rarely meet someone. Well, I'm not sure if I've ever met anyone I don't like.
Yeah. Do you think that's just the sort of shared knowledge of the horror of pushing yourself to do extremely difficult things?
I don't know, maybe.
Head to the right and along the river, I guess.
I haven't given it a lot of thought, really. I think I tend not to overthink things.
I think that's very, very wise.
I tend to go with sort of gut feeling.
Yeah.
And so when somebody says, hey, there's this great, I think it was the 3 Forts Marathon, was the first ultra distance race that I did.
How far was that?
27 miles.
Right.
So only just technically an ultra.
Yeah.
But really in spirit, it very much is. You know, it's
where is that?
sort of down south coast.
Yeah.
It's the 3 Forts, Changtonby Ring, and those are the ones I can never remember.
Okay. Yeah. Hilly must be.
Oh yeah, Southampton. So I really enjoyed that, and took it at my own pace. Gosh, it's really hard talking while running.
Well, that's why I let you talk and I run, you see.
Yeah. You'll have to talk in a minute and tell me a bit about you.
I've often thought about ultras, because obviously I run every day and I have done for over 8 years now. I haven't missed a day.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I think I've found my groove, just as presumably you have. You like the longer distances, and I'm guessing getting your kind of mind into running those distances and pacing yourself, and the detail that it takes to organise yourself to do one of those runs. But mine, all I do is a little and often. It's a challenge occasionally with work, as you can imagine, with travel and all that shit.
Yeah.
But it's not that hard to get a 3 mile run in. It's good discipline.
Yeah.
I'm hoping my 2 kids will. It sets them a good example.
Yes.
Whether they actually embrace running at some point. Why do you think it's mostly older people that get into ultra racing?
I'm not sure it is.
Do you find there's lots of young people there as well?
Yeah. I used to think that it was older people. And certainly, I wouldn't say there are very few teenagers in early 20s.
Right.
But there's loads of people in their late 20s.
Really?
Yeah.
And your subscriber base, is that mostly UK, and
yes.
Do you have any demographic sort of knowledge about who they are and what they do?
Yeah, mostly UK.
Right. It is a beautiful magazine.
Cool, it's lovely, yeah. So the reason to do it... Can we slow down a bit?
Of course. Sorry.
It's alright, don't edit that one out.
I get excited.
Because I'm really on the... since I did this thing called the Cheviot Goat in early December, I've rarely run.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I have a friend of mine who lives in Godalming who runs a marathon every weekend and doesn't do anything in between.
Right.
So his training is also his competition.
Right.
So I guess that's that kind of attitude.
Yeah.
You're fit enough to do an ultra. How far was the Cheviot Goat?
55 miles. Well, really, it was a walk. Some people ran it.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of people ran it.
Were you running it?
I ran bits of it.
Do you run the flats and the downhills and tend to walk the uphills?
Yes. And because the uphills in that area are so unpleasant. I love them because it's a challenge to be overcome. And then when you get to the top, you get that sort of great feeling of a buzz of having achieved something.
I agree.
And then you do it again and again and again in a mountain range.
Yeah. Come in through. Thanks.
So I would say I probably ran, I don't know, maybe a third of it.
Right.
And walked the rest, but that's okay. I'm really interested in the adventure of it and pushing myself. I would.
How much navigation are you doing for these?
Oh, with those things.
Yeah.
At night there was a fair bit, but in the day it was mostly trail.
Yeah.
There's quite a few bits off trail, but
So are you
relatively
following?
straightforward in the day.
Are you following other people? Is it, or are
No.
you on your own most of the time?
On road, with other people, like a huge snake of people, for the first 10 miles,
Yeah.
and then it gets quite remote, and you barely see anyone else. For big pockets. So that's how I like it, really. I like either being on my own or being with one or two other people I kind of regularly see,
Yeah.
but don't feel obliged to run with at the same pace.
I was going to ask how much camaraderie there is in these races. Do you find
Loads.
you meet the same people over and over again? And
Yeah. It's a really fantastic, tight-knit group of people. There's something like, well, last time I estimated it, 25,000 ultra runners in the UK.
Really?
Yeah. As in active, taking part in a race recently.
Yeah.
But that's still 1% of runners.
Is that only 1%?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Getting on for 2.5 million runners.
Well, surely all of those should subscribe to your magazine.
Well, I hope so. No. I don't know. I really like making things.
Right.
And I noticed through... well, actually, I got to doing the magazine because there was a chap called Paul Alley.
Yeah.
Well, there is a chap called Paul Alley. But at the time, he was doing a sort of fanzine for ultras called Ultra Tales.
Right.
And it was really good. And I supported it a bit by doing some proofreading and things.
Yeah.
And then it just got too much for him to carry on with. So he stopped. And that sort of left a gap in the market. Gap in the market sounds wrong.
Yeah.
Because I'm...
An opportunity.
Yeah. And I thought, because I was made redundant from Microsoft at the time, I thought, why don't I just take some time off and see what I can do here for publishing a good-looking magazine.
It is a beautiful magazine.
But it's beautiful for a good reason, and the reason is whether I think people generally agree with this, but ultra running is seen by if most of the population wouldn't know that ultra running existed.
No, that's correct. Yeah.
And when they do, they generally go, you're crazy or you're mad, or some other kind of word associated with mental illness. And the truth is, when you're doing an ultra, you're with about, I don't know, somewhere between maybe 20 and 500 people, more in some cases.
Yeah.
But I'd say the ones I've done recently have been between 100 and 200 people.
Right.
And you stand on the start line and you realise how normal it is to everyone there. And it's a big group. So I wanted to try to normalise it and demystify it.
Yeah.
For the people who don't understand it.
That seems like a laudable ambition.
Yeah. So the best way of doing that, I thought, was to make a sort of boutique magazine that showed ultra running off at its best.
Yes.
And that was 2015.
Oh, good for you.
We've done 10 issues. We're on issue 11 now. And it gets better and better.
You may have got my subscription through the mail.
Okay, great.
Although I did spell my email address wrong. Gmail has got an I in it. So I didn't get a confirmation, but
Okay.
I'm sure that's fine.
I'll fix that. So we have a core of about, I'd say about 1,000 people
Right.
who regularly buy it. So we
pretty
print about 1,500. Fluctuates up and down a little bit,
Yeah.
depending on time of year and things.
The writing seems very good as well.
Well, Yeah, most people say, if they're a runner but not really a writer, they say I can't write, but that's not enough.
Good for you.
Always pick up litter.
Yes, very good.
3 pieces of litter every run, kids.
That is a good policy.
What was I just saying?
About writing and running.
Oh yeah. So most people say, I'm not a writer, I can't write. And the truth is, that's probably true. But it's about the stories and the ideas. And then once you've got them in place, the technical side of writing, the grammar and structure and narrative and flow,
Yes.
we can doctor all that
Yes,
and make it better.
Yeah, but you can't make up the stories in the first place.
No.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I find that sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes the richest stories come from the back,
Right.
or the mid-pack.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm not competitive, so I don't care about winning, and I have no desire to come first in anything, and I never have. But it's the participation.
Well, is that because you can't?
Well, probably, but I've never tried, so I presume I can't.
So I'm the same.
Certainly a lot slower than everybody else I know.
Because I'd be a liar if I was to say I'm happy with walking 2/3 of a race.
Right.
I'm really not. I want to get to a stage where I can run more and run it all if I can.
Should we turn around here
Yeah.
and go back? Seems like a convenient bridge to turn around at.
Oh dear God. A, I'm slightly unfit.
Nice steady
Not
job.
running.
But walking and if you can't talk while you're running, we're running too fast. We should say Yes, I agree that some of the people doing it, well, people do them for all different reasons, I guess.
Yes.
And are you faced with your own self on an ultra? Because there's nowhere really to hide, is there? Like beyond a marathon distance, when it's a purely mental game, I presume. You can't. It's you against the voice in your head telling you to stop, presumably.
Well, yes, but with a few provisos, I find that voice disappears after a while.
Really?
Yeah, and it kind of comes back occasionally, but once it realises that, I'm going to get to the end no matter what, it kind of goes away.
Right.
And it definitely does come back, particularly during the night, or certain periods where, maybe there's a lot of pills or something. It comes back and kind of says, you could be on your sofa now, in the warm playing with the kids. But everybody gets that.
Yeah.
And that is what you're talking about, overcoming that mental block. But most of a very long run or a very long walk is taken up with nothing. People often ask, when I've done talks about ultra running or something in the past, people often ask, what do you think about when you're running or moving on foot for 24 hours? And I really have trouble thinking about what it was.
So do you find thoughts just come in and go out and don't stick around?
I don't know. It becomes like a meditative state.
I was going to say, it seems like
trance.
It sounds like meditation.
Yeah. Well, at night when you've got a head torch, and that's the only thing you can see is the circle within a head torch. That definitely becomes. Not that I'm big on meditation,
Sure.
but that's how I imagine a meditative state to be, where I don't really watch the clock or see how many miles are passing or anything.
Right. Do you keep you've got a Garmin on, right? So
Most of the time, yeah.
So you're sort of aware of the distance you're covering.
When I look at them, yeah.
Right.
But I try not to look at them.
Right.
With a race that's like Dragon's Back, I know enough about navigation to at least give map and compass a good go.
Right.
But then have the kind of GPS or GPX.
Now, Dragon's Back, the one you're currently in training for. So tell us about that, because that sounds pretty fearsome.
Well, I volunteered for it in 2015, to be a marshal.
Yeah.
Because I'd seen a couple of videos about it, and I'm Welsh, so the land means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Because I don't see enough of it anymore. I live in Surrey.
Yeah. Not very Welsh.
And even when I was a kid, I didn't see enough of it. So now it's an opportunity. So when King Offa's Dyke race came up, I jumped at that because that's a long way from South to North Wales.
Is that on the route of Offa's Dyke?
Yeah,
more or less.
it's on the path. No, it is exactly on the path.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be delightful. What's the distance for that?
194 miles. But that's non-stop, or at least
That's close
you
to
choose when to stop.
Right. And
With
you're
these-
carrying all your gear and stuff?
Yeah. Well, most of it. So people who there are, I think, people who did it without very much sleep, and they did it really well. But I wanted to do it because with these races, the clock ticks no matter what you're doing.
Yep.
And you get, when I was doing it, you got 96 hours to do it in. And so you can sleep as much as you like in that time.
Right. But you've got to take your tent with you. It's up to you to erect it. And,
No,
or there are aid stations you can kip at.
yeah, a bivvy and
Right.
a sleeping bag. But yeah, there were indoor shelters most of the time. They looked after us really well, but it was really mostly self-sufficient.
Right.
If that makes sense.
There must be a tremendous sense of achievement having done that. Bested the distance and stayed awake for that long would be quite an achievement in itself.
Oh no, I did sleep. I slept too much of it. And I'll forever have the slowest time.
Really?
Because, yeah, I did it in 92 hours.
And the cut-off's 96.
The cut-off's 90 now.
Oh.
After the first year, because I was the last by 4 hours or something.
Oh, right, you kept them waiting around.
Yeah. And even Richard's nice about it. And yeah, hell of an achievement. But I really dawdled for the last, 80 miles or something.
Right.
Really dawdled.
Well, one of the pleasures of running, I find, which is why I don't like racing, short distance racing, is because we get to see nature. We're running along a river here today. It's very pleasant.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get to do this otherwise. You're on your lunch break.
Yeah.
You'd be sitting at your desk. This is a pleasant way of spending half an hour.
It is, and we should do it again.
I'd be delighted, especially when I'm not holding this stupid selfie stick. But,
So Dragon's Back. I volunteered for that, just to see what it was like, I think. Because I couldn't really imagine during a race to make it to the very top of a series of mountains. The absolute peak. Because I've done that before, but hiking or climbing or whatever with family and things, but never during a race. So I thought, well, I'll volunteer and see what it's like. And I got enough of an indication to think, with the right training, I might be able to do this. So everything from then on pointed towards Dragon's Back 2017. Everything. Every run I did, every race I did, all my kind of waking thoughts that weren't already dedicated to family or friends or work or whatever, all of it was tuned to this amazing race.
is it one of the longer races in the UK?
It's a 5-day race, so
Right.
the clock does stop
I see.
with a multi-day. So you get to 11 o'clock at night and the clock stops, and then you start again the next morning.
Right. What time do you start in the morning?
Sometime between 6 and 9,
Right.
depending on how quickly you did
I see.
the day before. So it's really long, but it only translates to between, I think, 38 and about 60 miles each day. But it's the terrain. So every day is a different challenge in terms of terrain.
I see.
So So the first day is 11 of the 14 peaks of Snowdonia.
Jesus.
And then day 2 goes further south, and in particular across these real beasts.
You go across the Black Mountains, presumably.
Down south, yeah. Or I would have done had I made it. But these, on day 2, these mountains called the Rhinogs, which are really big, lumpy, very rocky, but rocky as in giant boulders to climb over. And that plus general fatigue and not being fit enough. So it did for me really. And I failed day 2 by 2.5 minutes.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, what a kick in the stomach.
Well, it's my own fault. So I got in at 11:02 and about 30 seconds at night and was obviously disqualified. And really now, I wish I'd carried on because I did have the opportunity to, but I was so pissed off with myself.
Yeah.
After all that training, after all those hours away from the family, and I sort of hadn't done it, you know. So I was just beyond gutted. So when 2019 came up, which is 4 months from now, I thought, I've got to do it.
Good for you. And what sort of training are you doing? Like, what's your regimen at the moment?
At the moment, I've really only just started again a couple of weeks ago, hence why I'm panting now. But I think that's all said after talking, hopefully.
So will you run every day, or?
No, 5 days a week at the minute.
With a long run weekend?
Yeah, lots of strength training.
Leg strength, presumably, mostly core strength.
Core, yeah. I need a bit of upper body strength for if I need poles.
Yeah.
And obviously it helps generally anyway with fitness and balance and things. But yeah, lots of core work, and then lots of leg strength, glute strength, and just general strength.
So do you have a trainer, or do you just make it up as you go along? You got a coach?
There's a lady called Michelle Maxwell, who wrote for the magazine a few times.
Oh right, cool.
And I thought, ask her if she fancies coaching me.
Is she local?
No, she's in Chippenham. So we communicate by Skype, and
she just gives you a weekly or a monthly programme, and you stick to that?
Yes. So she helped me get to finish the goat, because at that point I was a bit despondent because I hadn't really finished the race for quite some time.
Going through.
Thank you.
Cheers.
I found myself trying harder and harder races because I was getting a buzz out of them, and if I could just finish one then I'd get a real buzz.
Yeah.
But I found myself getting quite despondent really.
But with the DNFs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Or maybe 4 in a row.
Have you ever done any shorter distance races, like a standard marathon, or are your mind set on?
I've done some, yeah.
Right.
But I don't really like the intensity of it.
Yeah, yeah.
I know it sounds a bit daft.
No, I'm
a bit weak.
I'm totally with you. I don't like the intensity of racing. It stops me enjoying it.
But there's a whole question about whether you can really call yourself an ultra runner if you're doing ultra distance races but not running them.
Well, you're running most of them, right? Or,
well, certainly some
of them. And how do you feel about that? What's the answer?
I don't really care, but I'd like to demonstrate some kind of, I don't know, leadership to me. Right. It'd be nice if I could get to, top 20 of a race or top 10 of a race or something. To sort of, I guess it's a bit of imposter syndrome. It's like a runner organise a magazine, quite a successful one, that's beautiful, and I can talk about adventures, but I always kind of think,
But you're doing it.
I should be running more.
But you're doing it, you're taking part, you're not doing it.
But I'm naturally one to push myself, so I'll find any excuse, mentally or physically, to push myself to do more and better.
Yeah. Well, that can only mean a good thing because you'll get better and better and faster and faster.
Yeah.
What does your wife think about these exploits? Because presumably your running takes you away. Does she run?
She does, yeah. We've been married for 23 years.
All right.
And so, you know, we know each other's foibles and needs and whatever very well.
Yes.
And so, yeah, she's really supportive.
That's excellent.
And the family are. You know, they've done a lot of driving out to, you know, man a little mini aid station or something on a race.
And your kids run?
No, not really. My son, 14, he did quite a bit of hashing with me. Do you know what hashing is?
Yes, I do, but I've never done it. I've seen the marks around the place,
Yeah.
but I've never seen them.
The
They're
flower.
like the phantoms of the running world.
Well, I saw the flower for years and didn't really know what it was until about 10 years ago or something. I started doing it and then realised there's loads of them.
Really?
Loads of them. Yeah, virtually every day of the week around here.
Really?
There's a hash.
Wow.
In Surrey, I mean,
Right.
that you can join.
That must be quite fun, I just think.
It's really fun. It's like a treasure hunt.
Is that a
Following
peculiarly
Farmers Mill.
British thing, hashing?
Well, it was. It's not anymore.
Right.
Because the Brits took it to, well, abroad.
The
I
colonies.
think it's Indonesia, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Where they moved it to. Or somebody watching this may go, no, it's not. It's some other place. But it's British expats that
Yeah.
started it as a way of getting to, you know, be a social sort of tool.
Yeah, it always seemed like a fun thing to do.
It's really great. So anyway, Billy did that for a while, but started to not enjoy it and stopped. So he doesn't really run, but he quite. I think the kids find it a little bit inspiring. But my daughter's a bit young.
I bloody hope
She's only 9,
Right.
so I don't think she really understands it.
My kids are 13 and 15 and they just whine whenever I take them running. I force them to occasionally, but they
Do they not run then?
no. It's a constant whining noise. Even when they're on their bicycles and I'm running with the dog, they complain. So
Wow.
I'm hoping as they get older they'll realise the benefits of having some headspace and getting out and thinking, what kind of gear do you wear when you're running? What sort of shoes and stuff? Are you anal about your gear, or are you fairly ambivalent?
Yeah. But also I look on it as, like, my son's found something he doesn't want to do now.
Yeah.
Because he tries a lot of things and he's really good at some of them and he enjoys some of them, like table tennis or archery.
Sure.
So he's running with me as a way of finding out that he doesn't really like it, and that's okay.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure it'll come back to it.
Yeah, it might. Yeah.
There's quite a few runners out today.
Must be the weather.
It's what, 3 degrees here? Well,
It's very chilly.
it is very chilly. I hate being cold when I'm running. I
Do you?
really hate it. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Really?
Yeah. If I'm hot, I can't take enough layers off.
Right.
If I'm cold, I can put layers on.
That is true. I just
So no, I love cold.
big thing about it.
The only thing with cold is the first mile. You sort of feel like you're seized up.
Well, that's the end of our 3 miles. Andy, that was a real pleasure. Thank you so much for coming out with me. I'm sorry if we
I doubt anybody will understand what I was on.
got you panting a bit. Thank you very much. I'm really looking forward to getting a copy of the magazine and my subscription.
Great.
It looks fantastic. The writing that I've read online, which is hard to read online, but was really good. Really interesting stories, and obviously having a connection with running just makes them that much more interesting.
Yeah.
But I recommend everybody check out Ultra Magazine. It's extremely good.
You're very kind.
Well, thanks for the run. I really
Thanks for the
appreciate
support. Buying a subscription. That's brilliant.
it. We're trying to encourage everybody. It's 25,000 ultra runners in the UK. At least half of them should buy the magazine.
Yeah.
You'll be able to retire and
Yeah.
do nothing but train.
Doing nothing but instead of going back to work now.
All right, take it easy, Andy. Thanks
Thank you.
again.
Cheers, Joel.